and welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to be talking about my symptoms and giving you a bump update. I'm currently 23 weeks, and also I thought I would talk about two of my favourite things that I use for the baby. I'm 23 weeks pregnant and I'll be 24 weeks in a couple of days time. Not much has changed really since the last video that I made. The tiredness is definitely not as bad as it was. I did go away and we flew to the Isle of Man, and it was so funny because when I was at the airport, I don't know if they thought that my bump was fake or what, but they actually swabbed like the waistband like, you know, underneath my belly. So like, yeah, I was like, I don't know why they did that. We went really early in the morning. We was up at say 5 o'clock and I was in the library until midnight. So I was in the library till midnight, went to sleep about 1 o'clock, went to the airport, and we only got back like late on in the afternoon, and then I had quite a late night, so I've been kind of catching up on my sleep. So, you know, I think it's just to be expected. Even if you're not pregnant, you're going to get quite tired if if you're going to bed that late and then travelling all day. But apart from that, I've been feeling fine. My emotions are still quite stable. I am starting to feel like my appetite is picking up a bit. I am getting a bit more hungry, but I read at this stage that the baby is laying down the fat, so I'm assuming that it's got something to do with that. Another thing, the baby, wow, the kicks are just getting, you know, more stronger. And sometimes now I think it's like the baby's back. I can feel the baby's back, and it feels really like thick. You know, like when I'm like feeling where the baby is, and like you know, like say for example, if I'm feeling like that and then I feel the back, it does feel really thick. So yeah, it's amazing. The kicks are absolutely fantastic. I'm loving that. I also bought, I don't know if I mentioned this in the last video, but I bought a stethoscope. It's just got, you know, like the things that you put in your ears, and we've managed to hear the heartbeat a few times. The stethoscope is really awesome, and it's great because the kids get to listen in to see if they can hear the baby, and then they're listening to their own heartbeats. And it was only $9.99 off eBay. Came really quickly, so I'll have to show you that next time. My two favourite things, so this is called my Brest Friend pillow, and I have had this for nearly 7 years. Yeah, nearly 7 years. I had like a pillow, like a soft one, and it was like a C shape. And after I had Caleb, when I came home from the hospital, I was using that. But I found that because of where the C-section was, it was really quite soft, and I was struggling to hold him, and I was worried about, you know, the healing and everything. So I was like leaning over, and I was really getting in agony. Like the beginning of my breastfeeding journey with Caleb was absolutely horrendous. It was just really difficult, and I didn't have any, you know, I didn't have any real like support from the midwives or anything. So I was just really struggling, and about 10 days in, I went for a walk close to where we was living in Birmingham at the time, and there was this shop that sold like lots of mother care and other different products, and some of the items say like the boxes were damaged, and like there might have been a fire, or like I said, the boxes might have just been damaged, but everything was pretty much half price. So I got like a sterilizer from there for when I was expressing, and I also found this pillow. So I'd never researched it before, but after I got it and I was doing some research for a friend, I couldn't believe the reviews that it had. And I mean, like I said, this was like 6-7 years ago, and I think they're still really popular. So if you've never seen one of these before, it's really firm, and it's got like 2 bumps here, so you can put the baby's head on it. And if you're going to be doing the football, I think that's what it's called, or the rugby, going to be doing the rugby hold. So if you say, for example, you've got the baby here and you're breastfeeding like that, the baby's head goes on the bump, but you can tighten it and it goes all the way around your body, and it really helps, especially, well, it helped me especially when I had the C-section, because I got support at the back and I could lean back, have it quite high like this, and it's even got like a little handy pocket, like to put your phone in or bits and bobs or whatever. And it was great. So the baby would just lie here and then I could just feed. So there was no, you know, me like stooping over or like the baby slipping off or anything. And I just, honestly, I'm not lying, I think if I didn't have this pillow, it would have really made things a lot more difficult than what it was with the breastfeeding. And what I think is fantastic about this pillow, I'll put a picture on of my husband holding Caleb when he was like 19 days old and he sat him on it. He was using it as well, so when I was expressing, he would put the baby on here, and even just silly things like, you know, just chilling out with me, just sit him on there and lean him on his chest. It was just so versatile, and it would just be so funny, like on a night we'd go upstairs to bed, and like my husband would be like, right, let's get the pillow, and he'd strap it around him, get the baby, and then carry him upstairs, and it was just really, really good. So I thought, right, I'm going to keep hold of this in case we get pregnant again. And in this last 6 or 7 years, it has done the rounds, this pillow. I've lent it to friends before and they've had over breastfeeding pillows and said, oh, I've got one. I'm like, have you got one of these? And they're like, no. And I said, just give it a try, see if you like it. And literally they've loved it, and it's been a struggle to try and get it back off them when I've needed to borrow it for myself or for someone else, because it is just absolutely brilliant. So I bought this for about £25, but I think they're like 50 something pound new, but obviously you could get them second hand. This cover comes off and you can wash it, and you can get all different colours as well. I think there's ones with flowers on, but I've just this has been fine for me. So yeah, so that's the pillow. If you have any more questions about that, then just please let me know. And the second thing that I absolutely love, and I wish that I had in my first pregnancy, when I gave birth, is the Moby wrap. So it comes in a little bag here, and it's got like Moby on there. This wrap is, if you, I bet a lot of you have seen these before, but I'll just give a bit of an explanation if you don't know what they are. But this wrap is really, really long. It's just a long piece of material, that width. And but obviously you fold it over when you're wearing the baby. I can put some links to some tutorials on how to use these, and when I have the baby I will be doing a demonstration. But when I bought this, I went on YouTube to have a look to see what I had to do with it, and I found it pretty easy to use. I know that some mums that I've talked to, they've said they really struggle with these, but when I had a sling wrap with my son, and because he was like £8.13, I just found like the weight, I was stooping a lot, and like I said with the C-section, I don't know if that had something to do with it, but I just didn't feel like he was secure. Then I had one where it, like, you know, straps around your back and it's like a proper seat, but again I didn't really like it, and I felt like it was dragging me down. But I did a lot of research in the second pregnancy and I decided on the Moby wrap, and in case I didn't like it, I did buy second hand from eBay, so I got it for about £16, which I think is more than half the price of what a, you know, a full price new one would be. But just one word of caution, if you do buy them second hand, I have read a lot about a lot of counterfeit wraps, and I have bought another wrap before, like a different brand, and you can so tell the difference. It wasn't as thick, it wasn't as wide, and it was really stretchy, and when I put my daughter in it I just didn't feel like secure at all with it, so that was a real waste of money. So this one, I think because of the colour of it, like a green colour, if I'm having a boy or a girl, and with it being darker material, you know, like if there's any marks go on it or anything, you can't see it, but it washes really well in the washing machine. And like I said, if you wrap it up properly, it can fit in there nicely. But most of the time when I go out with it, I do it up, put the baby in. If the baby's not in it, I just leave it on me anyway. But literally, when I had my daughter, from day one, she was in this, and she would sleep for hours. With both children, they've never wanted to go out, to go down for naps in the pram or in a Moses basket or anything. They always want to be on me. So instead of me holding the baby, trying to make a cup of tea or hoovering or whatever, I found that this was fantastic. I put my daughter in. I'll show you a picture of my husband with the wrap. But I just found that I would just put her in it. I could hoover, clean up. A few days after giving birth, me and my son was on the train, going down the steps to the train station. She was just secure, she was warm. I didn't need like a really big thick winter coat for her or anything because she was so snug in there. And I've heard about how it can really help with the development. I just know that she cried a lot less because she was always on me. I could get a lot more done, and I just felt just better overall, her being on me in the wrap, and it just wasn't a hindrance whatsoever. So she was sitting up by 3 months, crawling at 6 and walking by 8 months. She was in the wrap until she was in it pretty much every day until she was about 3 or 4 months. She did go in the pram sometimes, but it was rare because, like I said, if I wanted to get out and about, I would prefer just to be able to hold my son's hand and to be able to just, she's there, my hands are free, I'm not having to worry about it. But obviously, because she was sitting up earlier, I feel like someone told me about this with wraps. When they get older, the woven cotton wraps are better because they don't have that much stretch. Because if you see here, it's quite stretchy. So when she got older and she was able to you know, support her own head, move around and everything, I just felt like there wasn't that much support at the back. So I didn't feel like I wanted to use the wrap as much. And then I didn't want to buy a woven one because she was getting quite heavy. And I mean, I know some mums, they'll wear the children for like years, but I just, it was hurting. Even if I've got a heavy bag on my shoulder, sometimes my back hurts, but it was just getting, I could just tell if she was, say, 6, 7, 8 months, it would just be more difficult to be carrying her. I'm not saying that I didn't use the wrap when she was older. I remember we went to go and see my brother-in-law play in the World Cup, and she was about 7 months old, and I put her in the wrap and she was in it all day and I was fine. But I just didn't want to be using it on a, you know, every day-to-day basis as she got older. If you've never thought about wraps, I would definitely have a look into them. They are, I can't praise them enough, they're absolutely phenomenal. So I've lent this out before, and I intend on keeping hold of this, and I hope that it'll stay in a good condition because it's something that I'd love to pass down to the children. And it's the same with the pillow as well, because I just think they're two fantastic things that, to be honest, I really wouldn't want to live without after I've had the baby. I really hope that this video was useful. What I'll do now is do a bump update. But an update, it looks like my laptop is going to be able to be fixed, so I'm hoping next week I'll be able to do the birth story of Caleb, and then the week after of Neva. So I'll keep you posted on that. If you like this video, then please give it a thumbs up, and I'd really like it if you could subscribe to my channel. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye!